So for safety reasons, the first thing that we need to do is remove rings, and if you have earrings as well, remove them. Any long hair, please, in a ponytail, so it's safe, you don't get cut. So today I'm going to show you how to make plaster molds out of your model. This is the styrene model that we made previously, made in a previous video. And I just trace the center line. The idea will be to cast one mold on top and one mold on the bottom according to this center line, which for molds is called partition line, in order to extract it. These molds, we're going to use them for resin casting, so there will be a couple of extra things that we need to take care of. Right now what I did is cover a little bit of the holes that were still there, really tiny, with a special type of filler, and I sanded with a sandpaper 600, so the surface is super smooth, it's really well finished. And what I'm doing now is waxing, so you don't get the plaster attached to your part. We have these pieces of wood in the workshop that we use in order to cast the mold, and I also wax them. The idea with the wax is just give it one go and let it dry, and repeat at least 3 times, letting it dry, and after that removing the excess. The generals with wax, you don't want these things stuck to the plastic or plastic stuck to the models. So I will continue waxing, and then I'll show you how to prepare everything for this. So I have everything waxed now. You can see again here the partition line, the center line. And what I have here as well is Legos, just a few blocks of Legos. The idea with this is to create a bed around our object, so we can reach that center line without using too much plasticine. We will continue filling up the level all the way up to that level with plasticine to create a bed, and then this will be forming a wall around that then will be casted the plaster inside of it. So I will start with the plasticine. It's a slow process, you need to be precise not to go beyond that line. So let's start. What I have now so far is just the Lego put together with some plasticine. There will be the need to adjust, obviously, different sizes of models or match exactly the dimensions of Lego, but that's not a big deal. And now it's time to start getting the plasticine to the level that I was referring to before, getting to that line, and just squeezing the plasticine and getting it into that point that we needed. I will be using some tools. I can't do it all by hand. So I've been working for around 10 minutes, and I have almost all the perimeter finished. This is the last bit that I need to finish. So just pressing the plasticine there, sliding a little bit with the finger, and then just correcting with the spatula will do the job. It's important to have a flat surface, a nice flat surface. So as you see, 10 minutes I've been working, it's not long, and it's important to have precision and quality. So all the perimeter is ready. I'm just going to take this same level all the way to the edge in a perfectly flat surface all around, and that should be ready. Then we will put these boards. So I've been working 7 more minutes, and I have almost everything ready all around. I'm just going to show you the last the last bit. That's good. Just pressing and dragging so you get a nice even surface, as much even as possible, smooth surface. Try to shape the form that is missing, so you save a little bit of time. And that's pretty much it, I think. So the usual thing is to give between the piece and the edge of the mold between 2 to 3 centimeters. I have much more here. That's due because of the structure that I already have from the Lego. It's a little bit wide. It's not a big issue. It will mean only that I have to use more plaster probably than I should. If you have no plaster, I mean, it's not a big deal. The idea with the molds is that you will be able to make replicas of your original object. When you are making an object like this, so you're making molds out of an object, out of a model. The model is called the matrix, and the idea is to create replicas of that matrix. And the mold, if it's too weak, can break, because you have to manipulate, open and close. And I don't know, for a mold like this, you can get 20, maybe 30 replicas. So having a thicker mold will only give you more stability. So what is next is to get things ready. I will need to put these pieces of wood and adjust a little bit the edges. Put a little bit of plasticine around all the edges to seal, because when you pour, it's liquid and can flow and create a mess on the table. And also we need to make some forms here to match one mold with the other. That shape could be just a little hole. I'm gonna get something to do that. Okay, so this is what I needed. This is a washer. You can do it with a coin, and it's basically just a little hole, like a little crater, just like that. And the idea with this is that in one mold you will have a little hole, and on the other mold you will have a little bump that will match one with the other and will help align the molds when you're closing them. So these little things are quite important. Don't miss them. They are very, very important. Don't go too deep and try to make a round form so the mold can open easily without too much trouble. Flatten all these edges so you don't have any little edge that can block the mold from opening. And do a few, at least 4. One in each corner. If you have a bigger mold, you will need to do a bit more, but at least 4. She's not here, so I drink another beer. Show it all away. So as I said previously, this mold is going to be used for casting resin. That means when you have 2 molds close, you need a hole in order to pour the liquid resin in, and that should be in the shape of a funnel. So I did a cone, which is a funnel, but I only need half of it. So I will just slice this in half. I will save the other half for later because it's going to be useful, and I'm going to place this funnel here. I don't need to do much more other than just be certain that the edges attach to the matrix and plasticine underneath, but it should be left as it is, as a funnel. All is good. Now we're ready to put the pieces of wood. So I put these little bits of plasticine because it was moving too much, just to keep it stable. You see it's moving again. But now I don't need them. So get rid of this. And the idea with this is that these have this block of wood in order to cut them. So you just need to put this, I'll show you this, like that. And this will be here, and the other one will be here. Just by pressing, probably you cannot see that anymore from where the camera is. Just by pressing it will shape, but there are gaps inside, so I will just need to fill up those gaps. I will take a picture and I'll show it to you. So that's pretty much it. Then the clamps, just clamp this here. And that's it. Every one of these corners needs to be clamped. Don't forget to put plasticine all along the edges, because the liquid is going to pour all over if it's not properly blown. This is a fun process, but can be a very messy process if you don't take care of it. Okay. So it's ready to adjust the plasticine against the walls. Remember, don't touch anymore. And I will lay an extra layer of protection so we don't get the plaster attached to to either surface with soap water. Just put a little bit of soap in a little bit of water and then apply with a brush. One important thing is to know the level that you need to arrive with the plaster. So taking the pencil, this is more or less the height of my object, the matrix, so at least 1 inch on top. So this is the level that we need to arrive. So when we pour, we know where to stop. And then we need to make a little bit of calculations to get at the volume. So knowing I'm just going to measure and multiply to get the volume. So when I prepare the plaster, we know how much to prepare. So this is water with soap, regular soap, when you wash your dishes at home. Half and half I put, and just an extra layer of this mix, so we ensure that nothing gets stuck. Just 1 layer. We could add more layers. We normally do 3 layers if we don't have the wax before, but because we have the wax, I will just do 1. And let's cross fingers and hope that everything goes okay. The worst thing is that I have to start all over. Okay. So I have my mixture ready, and here we go. Just pour kindly. So depending on the mix that you are using, the brand of plaster that you are using, the proportions between water and plaster may be different, so don't forget to read the instructions, read the indications. I don't have any spilling, that's good. Even a few bumps on the table will make all the bubbles go up and flatten the surface. I didn't reach the level, but you can always add more plaster afterwards. But you have to wait until it dries. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna wash my bucket. So the moment of truth, it's been half an hour since I poured the plaster, and wow, it's working really well. Look. Fuck. Nice. It's hot, still hot, but I think I will be able to move it. This edge can break very easily, so it's a good idea just to scratch a little bit and flatten it, because if it cracks, the crack can continue And by doing this, you will avoid them. So before doing anything else, just flatten this edge. Okay. Now let's see. I'll try to hold it this way. But we can try to remove all the rest. And this is going to be the main thing. Now. Yes, success. It broke a little bit. It's not a big deal at all. This can be fixed very easily. Perfect. We're ready now to do the other part. Oh, good. Okay, so I wax everything again. Put wax, a couple of layers again, all over the place. I put back the same cone, half of cone that was here, and remember that we put aside the other half, or I put it back. Be sure that everything is sitting and everything is in correct position, and that's it. We are ready to do the same job of adding our pieces of wood like this. And then we seal all the corners as we did before, and we're ready for the next set of plaster. Okay, ready the mix for the second mold. Here we go. Good. And remember, a few bumps. There are no spillings. Everything's looking beautiful. It's done. Now wait half an hour. Okay, so half an hour later, we're ready. So we take the glass off, and carefully we just move this sideways. And look, this is why the wax is so important. So you don't struggle with molding this. Now I'm gonna move all these to one side, and remember, first of moving, before moving anything, with your spatula, flatten this edge so the mold doesn't break. Remember that with this little edge, if the object, this mold, gets hit, the crack can continue going. So we need to avoid that. So we just flatten the edges. Okay. Now it's still a bit wet. So if it's still wet, it's a good idea to let it rest for a bit more time, but let's do it. Side, and then just pull slowly. If it's not working, you can always put the spatula. What is happening here is that the piece has a flat side, so that flat side is a bit hard to demold. So you just have to be patient. Don't stress yourself. Don't worry too much. We just need to be patient and pull one side and then the other. And you have to be careful, because if it's too wet, it may break if you pull too hard. It's coming. I can feel it. Yeah. Okay. It's working, it's working. If you try to put something inside and pull, you may break the mold, so don't do that. One side and then the other, because if you try to pull just one side, it will get locked. So you need to get this thing even from both sides. Aha, see? Done. One side, the other side, and it is here. Just need to same thing. Push. One side, the other. And before wax, remember next time. Okay, I have a trick for this. Okay, so this is a rubber mallet, and be careful, but not too hard, just give it a few bumps. This will help the mold piece. Just need to get closer. Ah, there you are. Oh, you see? A little bit got attached to the piece. It's not a big deal, because what happens here is that you have holes here. When we will do the casting, the resin casting, we can cover these holes with a little bit of plasticine, or you just cast it like that, because when you get your piece out, this piece will be will have this as a positive volume that you can just sand off very easily. So even if it's not precise, there's always things that we can do to fix it. Now this is the cone that we use, plasticine made for the resin casting. So the resin is going to be poured through that cone. We need to clean it up a little bit, but that's it. We have the molds ready. What will happen now is that we will close this, and you will have the entrance there for casting the resin. But that is another exercise. For the moment, this is it. We have our molds. Done.
But she's not here.